Hello folks, welcome to another part in this hybrid zombie shooter tutorial series. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to implement a go to location quest type. This is going to be a very pretty straightforward and simple tutorial to implement it into our existing quest manager system. So it should be pretty straightforward for you to follow through. If you have any questions or concerns, please let me know in the comment section below. But without any further ado, let's get into the video and let's see how to get this go to location quest type completed. First, let's start with actually populating our quest data table with the go to location quest. So we're going to go to our quest system folder, go to our data, quest tables, and then open up our DT quest. And in DT quest, we're going to add in a new row. We're going to set this quest ID to 1005. And then also we're going to make sure that our row name is the same here. And the quest name, we're just going to say market visit. It could be anything in your game. And the description would be head over to the market. And this is going to be of type main quest. We'll just leave it at that. Doesn't really matter. Quest giver is going to be our Christina. So it's going to be 1001. That's our quest ID. And we don't have a follow-up quest ID at this time. We're just going to make it so that when the player reaches that location, it will be quest complete. And for the objectives, we're going to add in a new objective array and then expand this index 0. Objective ID can be 1. And then the objective type would be go to location. And the objective description is visit the market. And then now we need to provide in a location. But before that, we need to expand the target item and make sure that the item name is set to nothing, or else this will fail. For the location, we're going to go to our map and we're going to pick out a spot in our map that you would need to predetermine and enter it into your data table because you already know where you want the player to go to. So you can do something simple as just add in a basic shape like a cylinder, for example, and let's move it around and let's say we want the player to go to this location right here. So while having the cylinder selected, I'm going to right click over here on the details panel and then copy the location of the cylinder and go to our DT quest, and I'm going to paste it on this line so I can have the location that we want the player to visit. Now, this cylinder is in a very specific spot. We can actually delete the cylinder. We don't need it. So this is where the radius comes into play. So we're going to set the radius to about like 350. So from this location being the center point, we're going to draw a circle or a sphere around this center point. And as soon as the player reaches this radius, we're going to consider that as the player has reached the location. You can play with the radius, make it as small as you would like to make that visit very specific or the area very specific. But you want to be careful here because you don't want the player to land on the left or the right of this specific location point. While this radius being like 5 or 10, then you'll never be able to progress that quest and they'll get a little frustrating. For the reward for this is going to be just some XP. We can just give out XP and give out like 100 XP. And for the reward image, I'm going to use this XP image as our reward image. And then we're going to go ahead and save it. So the first logical process flow here would be to set up this location quest. So let's go to our quest system and let's go to our blueprints folder. And we need to create an actor who will control the location quest and, spawning in the area, spawning in the sphere and all of this. We want to do it on a separate actor. So we're going to go ahead and create a new blueprint class and then set of type actor. Name this BP underscore location manager. You can be specific and also add like a quest location manager, right? If you have multiple location managers, then you can use this. So inside of this quest location manager, I'm going to select this default scene route and I'm going to add in a sphere collision. And this is going to be our location radius. At this time, the sphere radius is set to 32, but we're going to actually manipulate this number based on our data table radius value. So radius value from our data table is 350. So we're going to add in a new variable and call this radius. Set this to a float and make this instance editable and also expose on spawn. And then on event graph, we're going to drag in this location radius and then drag off of it. And we're going to call for set sphere radius. And this is going to be our radius here, just like this. Compile and save it. You can leave this radius empty because when we create this blueprint, we're going to send this radius information directly from our data table, this 350. We're going to send it through because we have set it to instance editable and also expose on spawn. And for the purpose of us debugging this, I'm going to select the location radius, and then I'm going to uncheck hidden in game so I can see this in game. And in our event graph, we're going to now go ahead, right click on this location radius, and we're going to add in a component begin overlap. And we're going to check this other actor. We're going to check to make sure that this is our player character. So we're going to do a get player character and do a branch. And only if it is the player character that has crossed over this sphere that we have generated, then we want to now get player character again. And we want to get component by class. And this would be our quest manager component. And from this quest manager component, we need to now call in our objective completion. So if I open up my quest manager component here, we want to call this report objective completion function. So here I'm going to drag off of it, and I'm going to call for report objective completion function off of true. And the objective type, we're going to set this to go to location. Everything else, we're going to leave it default for now. So as soon as the player steps over this sphere, we're going to send out a notification to our manager stating that the player has reached the location. So now we're going to go ahead and enable the functionality of actually creating this actor and placing them in the game. So we're going to go to our BPC quest manager, and we're going to go to our give quest function. And from here, we need the objective data, because the objective data is where we have the actual location information. So that would be inside of our objective array. So we're going to go to our quest manager, and where we are breaking in the SD quest data to send it to the quest logic, we're going to enable the objectives array pin. And this objectives array pin, we need to add it to our start quest logic. So we're going to create a new input, and this would be our objectives array. And this would be of type ST objectives. And let's make this an array type. And then now we can plug this in here, just like this. Compile and save. So inside of the start quest logic, if you double click on it, once we identify if it is a main quest or not a main quest, before we go ahead and set up our objective UI, we want to now intervene here, and we want to do a separate function to start up our location quest by spawning in the location and stuff that the player needs to reach. So we're going to go to our functions here, and we're going to name this setup objective actors. And this objective actors is going to have that objective data as an entire array. So again, we're going to name this objective array. And it's already set to ST objectives and array type. So here we're going to drag off of this, and we're going to do a for each loop. So for each of the objectives in there, we're going to drag off of the array element, and we're going to break it. And we're going to get the objective type. And here we're going to do a switch and connect this to the loop body. So for each of the objective that's in there, we want to go and take a look at the objective type. So right now we're going to do the go to location, and we're going to come back and take care of all of this one by one, because I will have a separate video showing you how to do each and every single type of quest or objectives that we have in here. So we're going to do the go to location. So for go to location, we want to again create a new function to keep it all modular. So here we're going to create a new function and name this setup underscore objective location. And here, this is going to have an input, and this would be our objective info. And we're going to send the ST objectives, but we're going to send it as a single array item. So back in our setup objective actors, we're going to drag this setup objective location and connect it to go to location. And the objective info would be our array element right here. So we're just going to plug it in there. Now we can go ahead and set this up. So double click on this, and from the objective info, we're going to go ahead and break it. And this is going to give us our location and also the radius. So now I can simply go ahead and spawn an actor from class. And this class actor is going to be our quest location manager. And the spawn transform, I can right click it and then split the struct pin, and then connect the location just like this, and also the radius just like this. And back in our quest manager, we just on the collision handling, let's make it so that it's always spawns and it ignores collision. So this way, if there's anything in the way, let's say an enemy walked in there or something like that, then this is not going to fail. And this would do for now. So we can go back to our setup objective actors and we can actually minimize this, and off of completed, we can now return this function as well. So essentially what this is going to do is it's going to go through all the objectives that is part of our quest, and it's going to check to see what type of objectives we have. If it is a go to location objective, which is what we have now, it's going to go ahead and trigger this function to set up the objective location. And that objective location will simply spawn in an actor who's our quest location manager, and it's going to provide in the radius, and also it's going to provide the location where it needs to spawn. And now we can go back to our start quest logic. And just before we set up the objective UI, so let me just move this out of the way here. I'm going to go ahead and call out for this setup objective actors. And do the same thing here. We want this to go, whether it's a main quest or not a main quest, we want the setup objective actors to fire anyways. So we'll set it up like this. We can delete this node here and then just have it go connect from here onwards. And now we need to define this objective array. So the objective array is connected to the start quest logic. So we're going to go ahead, drag off of this and say get objective array. And that should give us our array node here, which is same thing as this. And in our give quest, this is already defined. So now if I go ahead and press play, if I head over to Christina here and talk to Christina, I have the market visit. So I can go ahead and accept it. And then now if I turn around, you should see this big sphere has just spawned in. And as soon as I step into the sphere, you can see that the market visit is completed and I just got rewarded. So it's as simple as that. Now I can even make it a little bit better, a little bit more visually appealing. I can go to this quest location manager and add in a Niagara particle system. I went ahead and downloaded this basic VFX pack from Fab Store. It was already in my library, so I couldn't see the pricing for it. But if you see a pricing on this pack while you're trying to download it, please let me know in the comment section below and I will add it to our project total. So I went ahead and took one of the rings and then I did a little bit of modification. So I got a static ring. So inside of the quest location manager, while having the Niagara particle system selected, on the right side under the Niagara tab, I can now go ahead and search for that ring that I modified. So now if I go ahead and press play, and if I go ahead and talk to Christina, let me look this way so you can actually see it as it spawns in. And as soon as I accept the market visit, you'll see that the ring actually shows up for me to go to. So now as I approach the ring and when I enter the ring, it's going to complete the quest and it's going to give me the reward. The ring is still there, so we need to do a little bit of a cleanup. So in our quest location manager, on our event graph, after we have reported that the objective is completed, we want to now go ahead and call for a destroy actor. You can use a delay here if you want to just keep the ring for a couple seconds or so. I'm just going to do a delay of 0.2. So now if I go ahead and enter the ring, you'll see that it actually completes the quest and the ring is gone as well. And I got myself the reward. Now, the improvement to this quest is I went ahead and I duplicated the same market visit quest and I made a 10,006 and labeled it as market visit 2. And then I changed the location over. So if I go ahead and pick up the quest now, you'll notice that there are 2 circles now, one for the market visit 1 and the other one for market visit 2. But here's the problem. As soon as I complete one of them, you're going to get both of the quests completed and also the rewards actually going to be provided to you as well. The reason why this is happening is in our quest location manager, when we send out the report objective completion of go to location, our quest manager is going to take a look at if all of our objective type matches, our target name matches and target actor name, if everything matches, then it's going to go ahead and complete that quest. But we are not really specifying to the quest manager what is different between these two go to location quests. Although they have 2 different locations, we don't really have a check to see if the location matches where they're supposed to go to and stuff like that. So this is why both of them are getting completed, because the actual quest type go to location matches. And in our quest manager, that's the check right here. If the objective type matches, then it's going to say, hey, we can proceed with, completing the quest and such. So we're going to go ahead and make it unique, make each and every single go to location quest unique. So in our DT quest, we don't need to do anything crazy. All we have to do is The target actor name, this is actually a name value, and you can set this to anything and everything that you like to make it unique. So this one, I'm going to set this to location 1. And the second one, I am going to set this to location 2. Save this. And in our quest location manager, I'm going to add in a variable, and this is going to be our target actor name. And this is going to be of type name. Set this instance editable and also expose on spawn, compile and save it. And when we report that the objective is completed in our quest location manager with our begin overlap, we're going to connect this target actor name to this just like this. Now to define the target actor name, we're going to go to our quest manager, and where we have our setup objective location, we're going to open this up, and now target actor name is a field that you can connect this target actor name to. Now this will make each and every single location manager blueprint that's being spawned in unique. So now if I go ahead and press play and head over to Christina, grab both of the quests, market visit, and now I have 2 rings. And when I reach the first ring, only the first market visit actually completes, and the second market visit is still there in all of my feeds. And now I can go ahead, step into the second ring, and the second market visit is actually complete as well. And one quick note that I want to end this on, I'm not really good with the Niagara effects. This is just something that I simply increase the size of the scale spirit. However, you can always set this Niagara effects as a custom effects and have it scale with your location radius, so that the bigger your circle that you specify in this DT quest, the bigger the Niagara effects actually is in here as well. I'm not really good at that, so I'm not going to show you here. I'm not even going to attempt it. But I'm pretty sure some of you out there are really good with Niagara effects. So you should, if you are able to figure that out and post a video, you know what? Let me know in the comment section below. I'll pin that video from your channel. All right, folks. So thank you very much for stopping by for another video in this hybrid zombie shooter tutorial series. I really appreciate your time. And if you like this video, please hit that like button and also consider subscribing to the channel. I'll catch you all in the next video. Until then, have yourself a great day.